Good afternoon. OBS has been updated, so hopefully this is working okay. I'm just going to get it up on my tablet just to make sure that I can see it just as you can see it. So fingers crossed I'm not talking to myself. So do please. Okay. Yeah, there we go. I'm just going to get it up on my tablet. Do sign in. I'm going to watch it on YouTube, I think. That way I can see your comments. So we've already had a good early session. Got out of the Chelsea match a little bit too early. I was looking for that 2-0 to 2-1, but it ended up 2-2, and that's something for you to think about. Don't forget, when you see the pre-match 2.4 the favourite, it's not as easy as the market, as a 2-0 scoreline might suggest, is it? Always worth taking on, particularly at such short odds, 1.18 to lay. Just filling about with my phones. There we go. So let me just get that sorted. So do sign in, please. Just give me a quick hello. Make sure everything's working all right. I'll just figure this out. Keep getting these done. People trying to sell me crap that I don't want or don't need. Stephen, hi. Nice to see you. And Michael, thanks very much for your email the other day. Some great ideas from Michael. And Alan, nice to see you. Michael was mentioning he keeps tabs on his trading, so you can look at the ones which work and the ones which don't. I'm just getting my phone sorted, so sorry about this. Once I get the phone sorted, let's move to this at least, so we've got something to look at. Now, did you lay over 0.5 goals? Tell me you did, because you got yourself a free bet on laying the draw second half. 3 consecutive 0-0s. Hi Martin, nice to see you. 3 consecutive 0-0s now for Oviedo at home. Like Pisa at home, an excellent side to lay over 0.5 goals. Like Roma v Como the other day, excellent to lay over 0.5 goals. So if you haven't got involved yet, you've still got yourself a free punt. So it's a nice little system with the right teams. Oviedo couldn't hit a cow's arse with a banjo, or whatever the Spanish equivalent of that is. Don't worry about this. This is all covered. I can even come out with a green screen, a net green screen if I wanted. But I've got a free bet on this. Had I delayed a bit longer, that £40 would be looking at 88 quid if we get a single goal. Hi Stuart, nice to see you. So that's brilliant stuff. I like this particular play. I'm just going to close this down. I've been updating this because now I can get myself these apps on the actual internet. This is a sandbox. It's a development area in Google. This will be what the new Football Trading Profits looks like, and it will be chock full of AI tools for you. The insights, this will give you updates as they happen, team news, etc. So this is what we need, isn't it? Up-to-date information. We've got to have the internet working for us, don't we? We've got to have the artificial intelligence working for us. It'll be absolutely ridiculous going into 2026 without that. Hello, Eba Butia. Very nice to see you. Sorry if I butchered your name. Very welcome. So let's take a look. I'm just going to close this down as well. This is a consensus engine I've been working on as well. Now I know that I can get these apps out and live. I've been asking for some updates on this. What this does, this consensus engine, it takes all of the tips that are available for free online, puts them all together in one happy place. 2-2, I think that was after, or unless somebody shouted 2-2, then that is inspired. Good afternoon, Dave. Good afternoon, Simon. And Michael. Back again. Oh no, Michael's back here. And Christmas. Oh, X marks S plot. Nice to see you. So this is a football consensus engine, but let's get involved with what's actually going on now, so I can get rid of these. And real great breakthrough yesterday with my poetry app. Wonderful. This is what your apps are going to be like in the new year. All going to be freely available online. This is actually online now. It's wonderful. This is what I use for my AI music. But let's focus on the football. We can get rid of football training profits, the new look for next season. Real Madrid's defence. So this is up-to-date information. It's wonderful. Really, really excited by it. And I'll be migrating you all to that in the new year. I don't know if there'll be any additional costs for the artificial intelligence and the migrating of it via Firebase. Don't ask me. I'm completely new to all of that. Let's get rid of Ethereum, which is going up, and let's get ourselves sorted. So I've already got a list of the odds-on favourites for today. Southampton Coventry, well, that was listed because it was a banker. I wasn't expecting a 0-0 in that one. Cambridge United from yesterday, another banker. Dortmund from yesterday, another banker. This is what we expect of bankers. Greetings from Accra, Enoch. Very nice to see you again. You're very welcome. So this is from yesterday, Dortmund and Cambridge, Bochum and Karlsruhe. We had a 2-2 yesterday. We played Paderborn as well. I just popped on and gave you a little call on that. And there we go. The longer you delay, the bigger the profit. How about those of you with bigger kahunas than me? Laying for your 40 quid, you produce £111.11. Free bet for a goal to be scored between the 82nd and the 90th minute, knowing all along that the 0-0 is covered. Why? Because we covered it right at the start of the match at its lowest liability loss. Superb. Working out really well. I still got a sneaky feeling Celta Vigo should be eyeing this for a very late winner. Let's have a look at today's matches in the Soccer Scanner or the In-Play Guru or whatever Soccer Scanner you use. I know Enoch uses soccerscanner.net, which is equally as good. So work our way through. German Bundesliga is about to begin. It's a tricky old Bundesliga today if you've looked at the market. But there's the old Turkish Yorkshireman getting mullered by Fenerbahce. Doesn't look like there'll be an out for them today. So we can get rid of that. Work our way down. Spanish Segunda. Andorra against Deportivo La Coruña, who are second in the league, you'll see in brackets there. So I wonder if there's going to be any late action. But note, 18th against second, but still 2.5 the favourite. A couple of Desmonds, says Michael, today so far, but no wins yet. Indeed. I tend to choose my Desmonds, Michael, if they've got a compelling story, particularly if there's plenty of goals second half. But quite right. They do come in, though. You'll wait for the avalanche. Sir Desmond of Tutu turned up last week, and how? So they do balance themselves out over the course of a season. Try to delay as late as possible on the Desmonds as well. Pressure, pressure, pressure. Particularly relegation sides with a 2-2 or sides on the cusp of the playoffs in the Championship. And German Bundesliga as well. It's such a tough league to get out of. Watch out for that. The Chavs, 1.57 favourites after 39 minutes. We can keep an eye on them. But Saturday, if you want to limit your liability or your chances of losing, we're focusing purely, aren't we, on banker bets or teams and leagues we can more comfortably read. So we don't have to rush into the Championship, etc. at 3 o'clock. Only compelling arguments. So I'm just going to clean up some of this. We can have our first look at the German Bundesliga 10 minutes in. FC Köln against Union Berlin. Well, what can you see straight away? 2.6, the favourite, i.e. it's an incredibly difficult match to unpack this one. What I will do today, I'll bring up because I didn't do too many reports because I was involved with trying to get that app over onto the internet, because that's the key. That's a crucial piece of the puzzle for me, is to get these online. So let me bring up some of my football predictors, and we can take some of these matches through. FC Köln, for example. Football trading predictor, I like this one. I've been enhancing it as well. And come next week, I'll be able to share these out with those of you interested in trialing them. That'll be members only. So let's have a look. FC Köln and Union Berlin. It's going to be a tricky one to call. So why don't we get into the internet to help? FC Köln, Union Berlin. So let's have a look at this one. I'll wait for it to analyse, and we'll keep an eye on all of the other matches. Hamburg have been in wonderful home form of late. 2 very impressive wins against Stuttgart with a very, very late goal, which fans would have been delighted with, turning 1-1 into a 2-1. And they got a late winner, or a middle of the second half winner against Werder Bremen last week. I called that out last week, but the goal came a little bit too early for my liking. 2 consecutive home wins in the Bundesliga, battling home wins at that. But they're not priced to have an easy time of it today. 2.5 the favourite against a solid enough Eintracht Frankfurt. Keep an eye on the Hamburgers. We might see both teams to score today. This is, I think, the last weekend until the Christmas break for the Bundesliga. So if expect them to go out with a bang, all of this lot today. Wolfsburg and Freiburg, 2.35 the favourite. Got absolutely no opinion on this one at all. But as you can see, Wolfsburg have picked up a couple of recent wins against, let's face it, poor sides this season. Borussia Mönchengladbach 1-3 and Union Berlin. So every win that the Wolf have had this season has been 3-1. Both teams to score is a strong habit. They tend to see goals before half-time, particularly the last 2 matches where they have scored 2+ goals before half-time, and that's continued today. That draw could be layable second half if that continues in that vein. They've found their footing, it seems. Monza Carrarese 2-0. That's a pre-match 1.57 favourite. That's why I got them listed. Odds on at home. Let's have a look at Köln and Union Berlin. Just a quick pointer here. Now this analysis should be improving every time there's an improvement with Google AI Studio and its AI features. So hopefully we can get this absolutely nailed. Key stats, FC Köln 10th in the league, Union Berlin 8th, top 10 clash. Average of 1.36 goals scored and 1.64 goals conceded. So that's not a very good angle for Union Berlin. The AI has gone with Union Berlin double chance, which is effectively laying Köln. Both teams to score as well. So if that pattern continues, and it nailed Man United's match, absolutely, with Fernandes scoring, etc. So delighted with that. Both teams to score. All 7 of Köln's home games this season have seen both teams score. I didn't research the match, as you know. 2.5 plus the favourite. Over 2.5 goals tends always to follow the both teams to score angle. So what have we got here? If AI is to be believed, both teams to score, and if Köln score first, they might be layable, with the market fancying Union Berlin. Not the market, but AI fancying Union Berlin or the double chance. So that's a potential play there. We've got the live companion as well, which is the same as scenarios. So if we get a 1-0 to Union Berlin, we can input that into this, and then it will tell us its thoughts about the potential market. But what this lacks is our view of the in-play stats and the momentum, which is the key to deciding whether to get involved or not. Augsburg and Werder Bremen, absolutely not touching this one unless there's something compelling. 2 consecutive wins, I think, for Union Berlin at home. So for Augsburg at home, one against Hamburg, who are in form themselves, and against Bayer Leverkusen. That was pre-Champions League. Clearly, Bayer Leverkusen were definitely had one eye on the Champions League, because they were priced not to be competitive that day as well. Back to their norm away from home, failing to score against the big boys, Hoffenheim and Eintracht Frankfurt. It's not a match I want to be playing. Now that Werder Bremen, the wheels have fallen off. They did have a quiet run of keeping things tight, but you can see the last two matches, conceding 3 against Hamburg and 4 against Stuttgart. I don't think today's opponents are quite in that realm. It's not a match we need to be focusing on too much. Stuttgart and Hoffenheim is almost one of those derby-style matches. We've got two very, very informed sides. Indeed, the mighty Hoff scoring goals for fun. Stuttgart at home are electric as well. Really took Maccabi Tel Aviv apart midweek in the Europa League. Not midweek, but 11th. And beating Werder Bremen quite easily, 4-0. That's 8 goals in the last 2 matches. Got a real tonking against Bayern Munich, and did lose to Hamburg. That last second goal for Hamburg, getting that win there. The mighty Hoff, when they are priced to win, they tend to win. Look at their price today, 3.6. The market tends to get Hoffenheim right, so be careful with that. We've got Monza and Carenza. These are our odds-on favourites. So we can take them off the watch list now, 1.53, doing exactly what we expect them to do. We're here to take advantage if they don't do what we expect them to do. So I'll just clean that one up a little bit. I've got St Johnstone in here because I like following St Johnstone. They were 2-0 down to Ayr the other week, and they got the win. Oviedo and Celta Vigo. Those of you who waited and waited and waited. Imagine laying with your full liability now. You'll be looking at a profit of 400 quid. Outstanding. If you get a single goal. Wow. So this is a great little strategy, isn't it? In the right match. You could even get rid of that now if you wanted to. And Hamburger scored first against Eintracht Frankfurt in a tough-to-call match. But if this pattern continues for Hamburg at home, they're likely to concede. And one of these two sides is likely to score 2 goals or more. That's what's happened against Stuttgart. It's what happened last week against Werder Bremen. Eintracht Frankfurt, arguably, are a little bit more solid. Let's have a look. Hamburger and Eintracht Frankfurt. So next year, you'll be able to get AI like this, and during the match, you'll be able to research it yourself and even go into the live environment and research it yourself. So once this has come up, we will look at the live hub and see if that's actually useful. Lots of goals are quite tradable. Bundesliga 2, says Michael. They do play about 12:30, Michael, yeah, every Saturday. I don't review because I'm just a one-man band, I'm afraid. I can't research everything. And it's very, very labour-intensive work to research and also to provide these live sessions for you as well during the evening. So something has to give, Michael. But you're quite right. The Bundesliga 2 is available. And once you get this AI, you can fire away with the Bundesliga 2. I gave you Paderborn yesterday, Michael. I do like to pick or come in now and again, but it's just a practical issue. I can't research Bundesliga 2, Italian Serie A B, and all the other leagues I'd like to, because it's just me, I'm afraid, on my Todd. And as you know, I had a big financial loss in January 2025. I do have other things to do as well to try to bring that money back into my life, because it's turned my life upside down. So as you can understand, there are other things going on in the background apart from footballtradingprofits.com. I've got my self-hypnosis website. I've got to try to solve that issue. I've had to solve the issue of getting all of these 100+ apps onto the internet. It took 8 hours with ChatGPT, getting absolutely nowhere. So this is the problem. I'd love to do Bundesliga 2, but it's there for you, Michael, as you can see in front of your eyes on soccerstats.com. You're quite right. It is a goal-filled league. It really is. So do have a look. As I've said, it's extremely difficult to get out of. Only 3 places available, Michael. It's very, very competitive. So come the end of the season, we will be getting involved, definitely. And you can see at the bottom as well, it's 3 places, so that's fine. But Greuther Fürth are getting dug in. But at the top, Schalke looking to go straight back into the Bundesliga after being away for far too long. The likes of Hertha Berlin, far too long in this league as well. And we can have a look at the 2.5 goal stats. If you go to the leagues at the top, your instincts are quite right. We can go to 2.5 goals here and put in German. So we'll have a look, see if we can find the Bundesliga 2. I got you Paderborn yesterday. I hope you saw that. 0-2 away from home, turning into a 2-2. Bundesliga dry, 64%. Bundesliga, 62%. Bundesliga 2 should be here somewhere. Bundesliga 2, 56% over 2.5 goals. I would have expected it to be a lot more. 77% over 1.5 goals. And average goals 2.8, I think it was, for the Bundesliga 2. So you're quite right. It's a great league. By all means, research it. And if I can get this online, then you can take a quick look through it. So, for example, Hamburg and Eintracht Frankfurt in the Bundesliga, they've picked up the odds now, which is great. So that's a warning sign already. I've been trying to teach AI to tell me about that. Both teams to score, yes. So that could be something to think about now that Hamburg have scored first. Both teams have shown attacking intent and defensive vulnerabilities. Hamburg have conceded in the last 5 overall games. Frankfurt's actual goals conceded are higher than their expected goals against. Historically, 61% of head-to-head matches. Well, that's irrelevant because Hamburg have been newly promoted. Over 2.5 goals, I would agree with that, given the last 2 head-to-heads, last 2 matches at home for Hamburger, Eintracht Frankfurt, or the draw. So the market, if you're following AI, which is purely unemotional, it's purely stats driven, you'd be looking, if this is correct, at taking on that Hamburger lead. So we'll have a look. Again, you can have a look at your friend, the Bundesliga 2, earlier on, and you'll see, if we can find it, that it has been chock full of goals today, and it's normally the case every single weekend. And it's a 12:30 start, as Michael says. It's nice and early. Look at this, 2-2, 2-1, 2-3. So it's a league for over 2.5 goals. And if you wanted to make sure, click on the team that you fancy, click on the odds. And if they're below 1.6, and that's something I haven't done today, the betting goes, which I didn't have time. So I'll have to give that a miss today. But anything under 1.6 for over 2.5 goals, you've got potential. And you'll see that there. So, yes, definite angles. 20-minute delay as well would be wonderful for 2.5 goal play, because you can oftentimes get out. If you're backed over 2.5 goals, after 20 minutes, you can actually get out. So, good stuff. Let's just get back to the live or my games, because I think we've had a goal come in. Because we should be alerted when a goal has come in these matches. Stuttgart and a half. Yeah, Telegram alerts, Michael, certainly. Once I find them, I certainly pop on for you. Normally see the Bundesliga 2 on a Friday and on a Saturday at 12:30. I didn't see anything today at 12:30 to excite, so I didn't pass it on. But the 2.5 goal avenue is certainly there. And I normally do my betting goes, but it's such a busy. I don't have my 7-hour time difference that I have in Thailand to do all of my preparation work. So that's a pity. But I've got to remember to do my betting goes tomorrow. It's a really good spreadsheet, and I've been just catching up. Not this one. I've been catching up with them, and once I can get that analysis done, you can find yourselves with some really good 2.5 goal and even 1.5 goal angles. So I missed out on all this today because it's too late now because the matches are going live and the odds will have changed. But I record anything 1.6 or lower over 2.5 goals, and then I record. As you can see, they tend to be absolute goal fests. And then you can get at first half 2.5 goal patterns. No. First half 1.5 tends to be now and again. But 1.5 goals tends to be the key to success here more often than not. These were both cup matches, but it's a very strong potential there. So this will get analysed by the Google Gemini, and hopefully it will come up with some patterns for me. These were yesterday's. That was a 2-0. I think Le Mans won. These were all, I think, French Cup. So they should have been goal fests as well. That's the both teams to score. There we go. Both teams to score. So, yes, I was expecting that today. But I'm always put off by the 2.35, the favourite. But we were expecting that. We're going to be expecting, I suspect, a second goal as well. Given Hamburg's recent patterns of pulling off a win against sides at home. Home fans going ballistic, really, with their recent form. Oviedo and Celta Vigo looks like it's going to peter out. There we go. Have I lost? No, I haven't. An absolute free bet. And as you saw, if you can get down to 1.1 and then lay that draw, you've got the potential for a 400 quid free bet. How about that? Fantastic stuff. That's the fourth consecutive 0-0 at home for Real Oviedo. Let's have a look. We've got the 3 o'clocks beginning. So for these 3 o'clocks, the odds on favourites are going to be vitally important. In the Championship, Derby are odds on at home to Pompey. Ipswich look banker material at home to a Sheffield Wednesday who just stuck. Michael Thatcher got involved with Hamburg. Well done. Fabulous. I'm glad you took action, Michael, and you weren't waiting for me to do something. Brilliant stuff. Well done. That looked like a good call, didn't it? So this will be very useful to you during your own trading sessions. And the great thing is, hopefully, we can go back to the Köln as well and look at them as the match progresses. So we can go to this one. Now it's at 1-1. Let's see if there's a live environment, the live companion or the live hub. So a goal has come. What's the minute? It's about the 30th minute. We've had a goal. Well, what we want is the score as it is. I'm going to have to get working on this one because I need a score. I need to tell it the score rather than the next goal. So we've had a goal for the away side in the 30th minute, but it needs to know the current scoreline. That's the problem. So I'm going to have to tell it that we need to know what the current scoreline is as well for it to react and give us an idea of what to do next. 3 o'clocks will be with us. They're about to kick off. Ipswich for me, banker material. Doncaster against Plymouth. I don't know much about these two, but we've got an odds on favourite at home. English League 2, as you see, it's an absolute minefield. But Cambridge were a banker for me yesterday. Colchester are the shortest price favourite there today. We've got odds on Swindon. Stuttgart and a half remains 0-0. It could be one of those. They're both too good. In such good form at the moment, they are cancelling each other out. Scottish Championship, I'm interested in Partick Thistle because they're up there or thereabouts in the live standings. Should be top 2 or top 3. Last time I looked. So if they remain like that, they could be worth following today. St Johnstone certainly have been very, very reliable. Yeah, second in the league. Partick Thistle. But St Johnstone are the team to follow in the Championship. They have been excellent. And we can get rid of Fenerbahce's 0-2 lead. We don't need to be following that. So we should be getting alerted. What we're missing is football 24. So make sure you have football 24 up, and we can choose our leagues. Make sure you choose the leagues of interest: Belgium, Croatia, Premier League, Championship, League One, League Two, and we will be alerted. The ideal for this is to have it on your tablet away from your computer, so you can make sure that you don't need to go to this tab all the time when you get a ding. Israeli Premier League, not today. Serie A, Serie B, and we're moving on down to the Dutch Eredivisie, the Dutch Eerste Divisie, Portuguese Primeira, Portuguese Segunda. Just for the chavs, you saw them favourite earlier on. Scottish Premiership, Scottish Championship can't get any lower because of liquidity issues. Spanish Primera, Spanish Segunda, Turkish Super. Swiss Super League has been good. We've got a couple of potential bankers today. You saw FC Thun the other day, top of the league. Very unexpected side to be top of the league. And this will give us the matches for us to look out for, and we will be alerted whenever the goals come in. This is, I think, the French Cup. So already Lorient doing a number. We can get rid of all of these. Estac Trois, well, possibilities, but liquidity will be a problem there. We don't need to know about Fenerbahce. They look to be comfortable. Similar story, Monza. Odds on favourites. Yeah, well, Dave's just brought up the French Cup. A couple of underdogs leading. Olympique Marquois against Estac Trois. Indeed. Up to you if you wanted to play the French Cup. It's not really for me. We've got some goals coming in. And we had a goal coming in an odds-on favourite match, which you heard. I think Doncaster are the odds-on favourite here, 1.81. So there's nothing for us to investigate there at the moment. You'll also be alerted here for red cards, as you saw with Coventry earlier on. That was the key trading angle in that particular match. So as the 3 o'clocks come on board, you can see that Hamburg are delighting the home support. They're looking competitive today, and I would suspect that draw could be vulnerable second half if their recent home patterns are to continue. But note, it took a very, very late goal against Stuttgart to get the winner, turning 1-1 into 2-1. But that game with Werder Bremen certainly came alive. And Frankfurt aren't too shabby themselves. Hypothetical away goal at 30. Okay, follow the away team's goal, 30-minute mark. So they've gone away team to score next, away win or draw double chance. So that's what the market's gone for. That's what the AI has gone for. And Derby against Pompey, I think we've got an odds-on favourite here, going a goal down. So immediately, what I'm going to be looking at here. And the first goal for Man City, more bankers today. They're likely to score 3 goals at home. Look like they've started very brightly against Nuno's West Ham. That's what we expect of Man City. 3 goals today at home. So that's absolutely no surprise. But Derby and Portsmouth will be a match that we can bring up. Got to keep an eye on the in-play stats to see whether the odds-on favourite can come back into this match. So working our way down, English Championship. It's in alphabetical order, so it's going to be right at the bottom here. Derby and Pompey. Off we go. Now I will have to do a little bit of investigation about this one. Why don't we use this? Derby and Portsmouth. We can generate the prediction there. Have a look at that one. There's that Manchester City goal, and Sheffield United against Birmingham. That's not a surprise. But the Portsmouth is a surprise because the market had Derby as odds-on favourite. So it's important for us To have a quick look, we can look at the live standings as well. I don't keep tabs really on how teams are doing in this league. So let's have a look at Derby and Portsmouth. Normally they're highlighted. So let's try again. Normally the live standings are highlighted, the two teams. Derby 13th in the league and Portsmouth are just above the relegation zone. So it's more important for Portsmouth today to hold on to that 1-0. But Derby, if they can get a win today, they will be up to the top 10 or just outside the playoff places. And pre-Christmas, it's becoming vitally important for you to get within sniffing distance of these places. So any motivation we can find, we'll use. This is why I have this website up. This is why I've got the odds on favourites up. So we investigate these matches and we can have a look. Just wait for this to load up. There we go. So it's still analysing. Just got to make sure I don't run out of requests. But let's keep tabs on the other matches. So working our way through the Bundesliga. No surprise, Köln and Union Berlin, tough to call. Hamburg and Eintracht Frankfurt, look for the possibility of the draw second half ending if Hamburg's recent home winning form is anything to go by. Augsburg and Werder Bremen is too tough to call. Stuttgart and Hoffenheim, these are two informed teams. Again, very tough to unpack these two. That's the Portimonense scoring against the Chavs, who I thought were pre-match favourite. Chavez, 1.57 pre-match favourite. So we've got a potential angle in there. With Portimonense, with 4 consecutive defeats, conceding 2 goals in each of the last 3. So there is some hope, particularly with the Chavs, who used to be in the Segunda League. Segunda League, and they have scored 2 goals in each of the last 3 wins, 2 of them coming away from home. We can have a quick look at this match. It might provide you with an angle in. I think this is the beginning of the second half as well. But looking at Derby and Portsmouth, now AI has been good so far, hasn't it? If you're reading between the lines, so you're looking for a Derby County win, i.e. Portsmouth have scored first, so do you trust AI here? Derby's overall stronger form of Portsmouth's abysmal away record makes the home winning a strong prospect despite Derby's inconsistent home form. The confirmed lineups show Derby with a strong attacking setup. Offer of 1.81 offers value, says AI. Over 2.5 goals, that fits in with the underdog scoring first, doesn't it? And both teams to score, no. Well, if Portsmouth have such a poor away record, you've got to read between the lines. If they have such a poor away record, then surely they're gettable, aren't they? I'm going to have to look at this a little bit further. AI is telling you to lay a Portsmouth lead. You've got to read between the lines. Both teams to score, no, infers Portsmouth wouldn't score. Now they've scored. Are they really going to be scoring that second consecutive goal? Let's have a look in more depth at this Derby Pompey match, particularly at the challenge table. And in the meantime, we're just waiting for the other matches to evolve. We've already made some profit earlier on today. There's no need to push the boat. You've locked in the green. Made a nice quick profit yesterday in a single match. So there's no need to go. And that's Plymouth Argyle and Donny. That was another odds-on match, but Doncaster were the favourite there. So looking at Derby County recently, gone off the boil a little, but we have to put Watford and Leicester into context. Are they higher up in the league, perhaps? There is a strong both teams to score pattern. You'll see with Derby as well. They failed to score in their both teams to score. It was the first time in 2, 4, 6, 8 matches they didn't have both teams to score in the last match, and that was fair enough. They didn't concede. Now looking at Portsmouth away from home, failed to score against the Swans. failed to score against Sheffield United, scored 2 against Hull. And that was a couple of first half goals. Failed to score against Birmingham. Only scored 1 against Leicester. So there is a consistent pattern of not scoring that second goal, isn't there? They've only done it the once, and that was against Hull. So yes, AI might be onto something. No win in 8 away. They're leading, by the way. Both teams have scored in the last 4 at home for Derby, and they've scored in the last 11 matches overall, and in the last 8 home matches. It's all pointing to, isn't it, Derby County equaliser. And looking at the challenge table form, this is 11th or 12th against 21st. That's a good. Well, we're missing a large chunk of form here, aren't we? Really, to be honest. But my argument is, if you're beating sides 16th and lower away from home, then surely with home advantage, you would expect to get a result. Portsmouth themselves have only scored that second goal once, and that was against Hull City. On paper, and AI again has told us Derby are a little inconsistent at home, which is quite right, isn't it? It doesn't look the best form on the planet, does it? Where's that second goal against 8th and lower? It's only occurred once. So yes, I'm quite liking what I'm seeing from this trading predictor at the moment. And we can look at the live hub, or the scenarios. So we've got an early goal, and it came for Portsmouth in the 6th minute. So it came for the away side in the 6th minute. Analyse the scenario, which should be telling you possibility of Derby getting a result. I don't like playing the Championship myself ordinarily, unless it's the big boys or the reliables like Southampton scoring 3 goals, that kind of thing, or Coventry when they're odds on, that kind of thing. Just leaves me a little bit cold because I've had so many hits, so many problems. Hypothetical goal for away at 6 minutes. With an early goal at 6 minutes, the away team characterised by a possession-based approach, blah, blah, blah. Focus on controlling possession to starve the home team of the ball. Away win. Well, that's nonsense. Both teams to score, yes. Leverage the home team's desperation and ability to transition quickly. Over 2.5 goals. Capitalise on the dynamic shift where one team is forced. Well, it's not. Again, I'm going to have to teach this scenario modeler to note who the pre-match favourite was and analyse that. So there's still a little bit to go with this AI, but what we've looked at is the possibility of a Derby equaliser here. And indeed, 12 shots to 2, I might give it a go. But please remember, if you follow me in here, once you start playing the Championship, League 1, League 2, you tend to start finding unreliable. They can do everything that you want. We had it the other day, was it Stockport County? 3.5 expected goals at 1-1. Something like 16 shots off target, 11 shots on target, 8, 9, 10 corners, and it ended 1-1. Okay. Match odds or +1? Well, it's 1.12. I prefer +1. You saw it with Zorinsky the other day. That's not too bad. 1.8. That covers the draw. That'd be £30 minus £4.80. So that's a possibility. Match odds, you're getting 3.85. If they can equalise before half time, you'll probably be able to get out there. As ever, you're going to win more money if you take more risk. £20 to back Derby, 53 quid profit. To lay Pompey at near evens to 15. So 53 and 15, that's about a 70 quid profit on Derby. Or you could play it safe and go +1. that covers the draw. And what this does for you as well, this is a bit of a safety net. If it goes to Portsmouth 0-2 and then it goes to 1-2, you can actually get yourself out of jail. It's just a decent play. And also the +1, at any time it remains 0-1, you can get out of both markets and you will make an effective break even. You've got another option as well. Sit on it. If you're willing to take the hit, hope that Pompey park the bus, then you're going to be getting slowly. Even while I've been talking, this has been going up ever so slowly, but it's been going up. So you've got plenty of scenarios here. There we go. It's gone up by 0.3 points already while I've been chatting. So that's an angle as well, the delay angle. So you can keep an eye on the odds. Not creating the best chances on the planet, Derby County at the moment, but 12 dangerous attacks to 2. They're starting to motor a little. On paper, it's all about Derby, isn't it? On paper. But oftentimes in this league, it doesn't work out that way. We've already got a goal for St Johnstone, a side well worth following. We've got a few goals coming in for odds-on favourites, so let's take a look at those. We know all about Derby now. We've done our research. Look like a worthy home favourite, don't they? But +1, I would prefer. Well, MK Dons are the odds-on favourites at Harrogate, so I'm not going to be investigating that one. Frosinone, odds-on at home to Spezia. Not going to be investigating that one. St Johnstone, we're expecting them to do a number today, and they've already led, so I'm not going to be investigating that one. But Derby does impress, doesn't it? Half-time, Stuttgart and the Hoff. It's one of those Derby-style matches, I would suggest. Home form is excellent for Stuttgart. Hoffenheim have been in the form of their lives. When they are priced to win, they tend to be scoring 3 goals. But the market tends to be accurate with them. So today, they're not expected to do much. And indeed, Stuttgart have dominated, albeit just the one shot on target. So I've laid over 1.5 goals, Derby and Portsmouth. I'm going to sit on this for a little bit. I don't mind losing £4.80 liability in the chance of winning a bit more. See, this is going up and up and up. It's a bit of liquid. Don't forget, Derby +1 is exactly the same as laying Portsmouth. Do remember that, okay? It's just a way of backing rather than laying. So if you wanted to play Derby +1 here in the match odds market, you would simply lay Portsmouth. You would make, look at that, 32 there. And you can check out which one gives you the better return. It's about similar, isn't it? 31 to 32. So don't forget that. If one of these markets is a liquid, the match odds is likely to be more liquid. But they're messing about with the odds now, as you can see. There's a big gap between back and lay. So I'm going to wait for a little bit longer. I think the goals recently for Derby have been coming second half. We can double check. Come down here. Check if they've got a pattern for scoring second half goals versus first. Not really, 57% second half. So not really anything to look at. And we've also got this problem as well, don't we? That could make us delay. Against 8th and lower, where's that second goal? It's only arrived once. Yes, 1-1 draws are excellent for trading, and that also backs up the possibility of you focusing on Derby +1 to cover the draw, because we're not seeing that second goal. We're seeing it away plenty of times, but are we seeing it enough at home? That's the problem. With Portsmouth away against sides above them, they have kept it tight here, here, here and here. Against the top 6, more vulnerable. Big spanking against Brum, probably when Birmingham were up near the top of the league earlier on in the season. We've got a red card for Birmingham. That's not going to affect the scoreline at all. And Plymouth Argyle, the underdogs, have taken the lead against Doncaster Rovers. Now that signal, that sound you heard, if you did hear it, is the underdogs Plymouth making it 1-2 against Doncaster, who did score first. Odds-on favourites Colchester look like they've just opened the scoring, or have they? That red dot normally suggests an opening goal. Indeed, there it is. Stuttgart and a half is a tough match to unpack for me today. It's leaning towards Enoch's answering whether Middlesbrough can turn up today. Well, let's have a look at their odds, Enoch. Are they priced to turn up today? That's the question. Let's have a look at Middlesbrough. 2.45 the favourite, Enoch. Now, if there's anything you'll learn from me, it's to be very suspicious of these markets. 2.45 the favourites telling you this could be anything. We had Reading against Luton the other day, where Luton on paper were by far the better side. But why was it 2.6 the favourite or something like that? And it ended 3-2 to Reading. So please be careful. 2.45 here, Enoch. 2.4 the favourite, Hull and West Brom. The market's quite simply saying, we can't pick a winner. Sorry, lads, we can't pick a winner. So be very careful, Enoch. And if you have your soccer scanner up, make sure you see whether Middlesbrough are in the mood today. No shots on target, 3 shots off and 2 corners. It's not a match I want to be focusing on, but you're quite right. I suppose you've probably shown or seen the 4 consecutive wins in all competitions. Odds on favourite, well, looks like Doncaster. Odds on favourite Doncaster are getting absolutely tonked in English League 1, is it? Might be an angle. It's an underdog leading by 2 goals on or around half-time. So we can have a look at the stats here. And we can have a look at the goals as well. Were these goals from open play? Was it a penalty? No, it wasn't. It's Tolaj, Hosseini and Tolaj. Looks like Tolaj is having a good day. And Hosseini with a goal and an assist. But why on earth are Donny 1.76 pre-match favourite? So I'm going to get the market up here. Have a look at English League 1. Because if you saw Paderborn yesterday, a 2-goal lead is a really good entry point. Likely to be a bit skinny, I would suggest. Doncaster and Plymouth, as far as value is concerned. And this has actually gone down now. Wow. So my gamble on it going up has not paid off. Could have got 1.81. That suggests now that Portsmouth's odds have gone up as well from 2.2 to 2.3. So is that indicative of a market interested in a Derby County +1? So I might pull the trigger here now, even though it's very liquid. There's a 5-point gap there. Look, awful, awful. But you have to take your medicine. I'm going to give that a go. It's shaved off an extra 10 quid we could have made at 1.8. What a pity. I'm going to give it a go, but you can delay if you'd like. You've seen Derby have trouble with that second goal. But let's have a look at the Doncaster match. See what kind of a mood Donny are in, or if the odds are decent enough to get involved. For me, it's not very confident, is it? 1.35, not very confident at all for a 3-goal lead or a 2-goal lead. Just have a look at the liability, have a play with that. Maybe because of the league, I don't want to be throwing away liability on a Saturday. So I'm quite happy to let this one go. No need to run after English League 1. We can wait and see whether there is a turnaround from Doncaster. Nothing much doing here. This is a local derby, Rotherham and Huddersfield, so just be a little careful with that one. And we've got a red card, Cesena and Juve Stabia. That might be of interest in Serie B. So I'll bring that one up. Italian Serie B. We want to see a reaction. And there's a French Cup that one or two of you were interested in. I don't see any upsets at the moment, apart from Lille 0-0 at half time. But we're going to Italian Serie B. I think I might have that match up already. Cesena and Juve Stabia. Probably got it up at the top here. There it is, Cesena and Juve Stabia. So we've got the red card for the better side. 1.1 expected goals pre-match, 2.15 home favourite. We want to see a reaction now from Juve Stabia. So we want to see that brown start moving above the blue. We want to see an increase in shots on, shots off and corners, and an increase in expected goals as well. Those of you who fancy taking on Portimonense, the Chavs have suddenly gone mental, haven't they? So we can have a look at that one. Don't know if there'll be any value, because you'll have to cover the 0-1 somehow. So I've butchered the name, but it's come up. So that's relatively high, isn't it? If you want to cover your insurance now, Michael was saying he doesn't like to do this late on like this, and I can see why, because it's a hefty premium, but you're also going to get rewarded. Look at that, 1.7. This should be something like 2.6, 2.38. So that was quite a hefty liability, but you're also going to get rewarded if they can make the +1 there as well. It is the Portuguese Segunda, but this does look interesting. Possibility of an equaliser there. No odds-on favourite matches, because we would have heard about it here, or would we? Let's go. We have to go back to the screen and get my games up for all of our odds-on favourites. Let's make sure we haven't missed any scorelines. No, so that's okay. So we're just looking Stuttgart and a half. It's a difficult one to unpack. Two very informed sides, and you can see only the one shot on target for two sides full of goals as well. Still, the Chavs are catching my attention. If I was to play, I would need to be covering that 1-0 in some capacity. But the longer we wait, you could even do a little punt if you wanted to. Lower your liability by backing the Chavs at 10s. Because if they make it 1-1, 80th minute, you're not going to be seeing odds of 10, are you? So in that way, it's a back to lay trade. The insurance, I'm afraid, is just a little bit eye-watering. £31 there for the possibility of a £24 net profit. That's not taking into account cashing out, because that'll take a little bit more off. And you can see why I'm interested, can't you? There is possibilities here. So I'm happy to wait a little bit and see whether I can get better odds, given the league that we're in. But keep an eye on the Chavs. Possible equaliser against Portimonense. They are in good form. You might even want to go for a Chavs win. Again, it's an illiquid market, so you're not getting true market forces here, are you? Big gap between back and lay, because these cheeky buggers want you to back our backers. They want to get the highest odds. These are layers. They want to give you the lowest odds because they keep their liability lower. It's getting a bit tighter now. I might have a bit of a tickle. And what you can do, you can start drip backing like this, just to have skin in the game. There's no need to go full liability. How about that? Start with that, give it a few more minutes, and go in again. And the thing about having something like Fairbot, you can go in with 50p or something like that. So you can have a quick go in with 50p here, 50p there, as these odds rise. You could even start laying the draw as well as the draw odds lessen. Certainly, if we get to 1.25, I would do my drip laying. 1.25, 1.14, 1.19, 1.14, 1.09, 1.06. That'll be £5 for the first few. Once you get under 1.1, it'll be 11 quid and then 17. You'll make about a 10 to 1 return if they all get hit. But it's looking good, isn't it, for the chavs? But remember, on these Saturdays, these extra leagues outside of the elites try to tempt you in, don't they? To give your liability away. Derby are looking good, aren't they? 2 shots on, 4 off, and 3 corners. Marc Mbalou against Estac is not listed on In-Play Guru. Market price at 10s initially. Underdogs and leading 1-0 at half-time. Problem with that, Dave, likely to be liquidity issues, but we can have a look. And you don't know whether Estac are up for it or not. Estac, I think, are in French League 2. So for me, they would be far more interested in getting out of this damn cup and going back up into the French League 1. You're quite right about the pre-match odds there. 10s. If you see value, Dave, by all means, get involved. I'm not sure the in-play stats will be covered as well in French League 1 or French Cup or Le Coupe de France. Le bonnet de douche, as Derek Trotter would say. So let's have a look. French Cup. I can't see it. Je ne vois pas le Coupe de France. Ooh la la. So it's not something I want to be playing anyway on a Saturday. But by all means, if you see value, it's liquid enough for a cup match. But the in-play stats are missing. The in-play stats are missing. I can't see the Coupe de France here. Maybe it's not. It's because I haven't picked it. Because it's not a league I want to be playing on a busy Saturday. Here it is. It's got starred now. Unlikely you'll be seeing any in-play stats, but we can have a look. Well, you've got your stats here. So you need your pre-match odds first. 1.33. So not absolutely stand out, were they? Pre-match. In-play stats. Estac 0.69 expected goals so far in the first half. 60% possession. 6 shots, 3 on target. It looks like they're just going through the motions. Remember Celta Vigo the other day. It's certainly not dominating by any stretch. Up to you, Dave, but I don't want to get fixated on the French Cup on a Saturday afternoon when we've got elite leagues, which are far more readable. We've got the French Cup up now, though, so you will get highlighted with any goals that come in. If you see value, Dave, by all means, get involved. But let's have a quick look through our matches of interest here. I can get rid of Padova Samp, I think. I'm not going to be playing. Frosinone Spezia, not going to be playing. Cesena Juve Stabia, red card. Now we're seeing a reaction from Juve Stabia. So this could be something for you to plunder at some point if you fancied it. Good reaction. Red card has arrived. Momentum has started to go up markedly. That's what we want to see. So keep an eye on this one. The possibility of Juve Stabia nicking a late winner. 2.15 the favourite for the home side. The Chavs. Pressure, pressure, pressure. Look at that pressure. I'm waiting. The longer I wait, the lower the odds. The more pressure on Portimonense by the Chavs. And hopefully they get the breakthrough. But we can get in. Can we get in again? Let's have a look. Try not to get too attracted to these other than elite leagues. Again, we're up to 13s. We're just increasing our liabilities slowly. Don't want to overextend ourselves in this lesser league. And if you fancied it again, something like that, we'll get the draw negated if it does end 1-1. So just be mindful of your liability. Already with 15 minutes to go, it's up to £2.50 and it can rise quickly. So I'm waiting. Every moment I wait, I'm getting better odds about the Chavs. I'm getting lower odds about the lay. Looks like they could break through at some point if you trust that. 13 shots off, 7 corners. Any other odds-ons coming in? Not at the moment. The Premier League is a little bit quiet, isn't it? With 37 minutes gone, let's have a look at some of our peripheral or other leagues, and then we'll move down to the Premier League. So I'll just get rid of a few of these. I like to do it manually because I might pick up a match or two that is absolutely stand out. Chav's game is gaining momentum, Enoch. It's quite right, Enoch. You've seen they're starting to rise. They're starting to look at the shots off target and corners. Only the 3 shots on target. So that's why I'm just eating away at the Chavs. And it's also a second tier match as well, which is why I'm just taking it a little bit easier. Levante Real Sociedad, tough match to call. Why? 2.38 the favourite, but it's an elite league, so we can have a quick look at that one. The SPL today. Any matches of interest? Not necessarily, but 1.15 expected goals for St Mirren. Problem with the Scottish leagues is just a lack of liquidity. It's a real pity because they can be very readable, particularly the Championship. Partick Thistle as well. Keep an eye on them. Second in the league. St Johnstone doing what we expect, so we can get rid of them today. Move down. Rwanda. And we got some odds on favourite action. You can hear that in the background, I hope. Unless I didn't get my system audio on. So I'll get rid of a few of these. And before we know it, we'll be down to the Eredivisie. Heracles and Heerenveen. I would be fancying Heerenveen here today. They have a really good goal scoring record at the moment. Moving on down, Italian Serie B, coming to the end of the matches. No strong opinions on any of these ones at the moment. Although Carrarese are looking competitive, aren't they? With 15 minutes to go. But Monza pre-match favourites. And St Johnstone are making it 3-0. Second goal for Man City. We'd expected 3 goals. And Olympique Marseille have made it 2-1 against Stade Troyes. Looks like Stade Troyes got that equaliser for you, Dave, if you did play and if you did cash out. But this is, no, that's been disallowed for Olympique Marseille. So Dave did spot a little bit of value. And it was, I suppose, liquid enough for you to have taken action on it. But the away side, or the home side, not favoured, just had a goal disallowed. So up to you if you wanted to play the cup matches. It's hit and miss, but we did get a good profit with Celta Vigo the other day. So I was quite happy with that one. Lille, you might want to keep an eye out. It just could be fitness improves their chances later on. They are from the French League likely to have far, far superior fitness. Bournemouth and Burnley, this is going to be a tough one for Bournemouth today. They've been in awful form. They've failed to score in the last 2 at home. No shots on 6 off 3 corners. Burnley, 7 consecutive defeats, I think it is. 6 defeats in 7. This is all about whether you can get a goal from the Cherries today. No shots on target yet. This is a chance for redemption for the Cherries today. If they can score a goal, that should be enough for the win. Really, had I been a bit more wide awake, we could have laid over 0.5 goals in this one because they've failed to score in the last 2 at home. Against Chelsea and against Everton, failing to score. We know all about Burnley. They can tighten the ship at the back. They're likely to be going down with Wolves, I'm afraid. Elsewhere in the Premier League, Brighton haven't got anything yet out of Sunderland, who have been the exceptional newly promoted side. Only Fulham and West Ham have kept Brighton from scoring this season. 2 goals at home. Tricky one, because obviously for us, Brighton are looking, or Sunderland are looking okay, aren't they? Dominating. All 4 defeats for Sunderland have come away from home. We'll keep an eye on that one. And it's another one we missed, laying over 0.5 goals at the start of the match. 5 out of 6 under Rob Edwards have been 0-0 at half time and have lost a lot. But Brentford's away form is just awful, isn't it? Well, there's that Lille goal against Lusitanos. So there is something for you in the French Cup if you fancied it, but it's more of a late play for me. I missed the trick for Wolves. We should have done the Oviedo with that, which was a real pity. I'm not going to be taking on Man City. They are far, far too hot at the moment. Anything else? So it's a quietish Premier League. It's teams out of form who are expected to beat teams in worse form. We're talking Bournemouth and Burnley in that particular example. Championship, well, we've got all of the odds-ons listed here. That's what I'm more interested in. And we've got an opening goal for Burnley, which could spell big trouble for if it's come in. If it's come. No, looks like Bournemouth have got away with that. That could spell trouble because Bournemouth have failed to score in the last 2 home matches. So they've been let off the hook by Burnley there. The Chavs, 82nd minute now. What hasn't changed? The shots on target hasn't changed. The shots on target hasn't changed, has it? All of the secondary stats, they are knocking on the door. Now we can have a bit better with our lays, getting to more of a tolerable level. So you can just eat away small amounts. And as we get to 1.25, you might want to start laying Portimonense. Too many German cars parked in the plain view. Yeah, indeed. Watch out for the Chavs. They will nick your catalytic converters, is what Bosun's telling us. And he's quite good, quite right as well. They'll be flogging a few Fred Perry tracksuits as well, the Chavs, outside the stadium. So quite right. Derby 1-1. Thank you very much, Stuart. Let's check out the profit there now. Of course, those of you who went +1 will be ruining the fact the goal has come before half time, because if you went match odds, you're going to be seeing a greater return. If you do go match odds, you're going to get a greater profit, of course, but you need the goal to come early enough to get that draw negated. +1, we're okay at the moment. Having laid over 1.5 goals for £4.80 loss, given the previous profits today, I'll be up to, was it 40 or 50 quid already today? I think. No, with the Celta one I missed out on. Oh, I haven't been recording these. What a pity. Had a few profits earlier on. Got to remember to record them. Oh yes, the lay the draw. Preston and Norwich. There we go. One of them there. Newcastle and Chelsea as well. And this was nearly a beautiful profit with a free punt, which we should have taken for the Wolves match. I wish I'd been a bit more alert to that. So let's just catch up. Thank you very much for letting me know about that, Stuart. The 1-1. Good stuff. Michael was delaying on Derby until evens to lay Pompey. he almost got there. What a pity. It's well worth having a go, particularly your liabilities not going to be too cumbersome, laying over 1.5 goals and then sitting on it, particularly in a match like this, where we've had that concerted problem from Derby County of scoring 2 goals consistently enough at home. Away from home, you'd be all over them, wouldn't you, against these bottom sides? And Pompey's struggles as well are well advertised here. Where's that second goal? It's only come the once, and they still didn't win. So a good play. We could have got 1.8s or higher, but I'll take that profit there. And I'll have a look into that, whether to cash out, because I've already made 30 quid earlier on. Add another tenner to that, you're nearly up to the 50 quid mark, and it's not even 4 p.m. yet. So, and then don't forget, this is just £40 stakes, the absolute ideal, which I'll try to do in 2026, is to start the year off with a specific amount and just roll it and compound it and roll it and compound it. So we can be working with bigger stakes later on in the year. That would be the absolute ideal. Let's take a look through Juve Stabia. Good reaction to the red, but it's gone off the cliff a little bit, hasn't it? 3 shots on target. We can't get the times. Yes, we can. 71st minute for the last shot. It's the 85th minute now. I'm not going to be rushing into laying the draw in this one just yet. The Chavs, we've done the right thing here because they've gone off the boil a bit now. We've kept our liability extremely low. But still, as Bosun said, 1.14 is probably the best entry point here, isn't it? You can go in again if you fancied it, 1.23, just to try to get a bit more off this 2 quid. There we go. And a bit more. Or, if you fancied it, if you fancied a bit more liability for a bit bigger reward, you could start drip laying, by which I mean 1.25 or lower for a fiver, £1.15. Then you go down 1.19, that's 95p for a fiver. Then you go to 1.14, 70p for a fiver. 1.09, you can start increasing your liability to 11 quid. That will keep you under a quid. 1.06, you can up this to 17 quid, and that will get you to a quid as well. The total profit will be around, it should be around the 50 quid mark for a £4 liability. So it's well worth doing, isn't it? We're getting to that stage now where Portimonense odds are getting short enough that if the Chavs want this, then they might get it. But we'll keep our liability low, won't we? So it's going to be far, far lower because they're running out of time. They're running out of time at the moment. So now we've got a profit on the draw. We can start working on that. We could even start backing the draw at once it gets a little bit higher. Again, just for your 50p's. Keep going. Keep that liability as low as possible. But drip laying, it's gone off the boil, haven't they? Momentum has shrunk. Just that one shot on target since the 69th minute. Not good enough. 14 shots off. Pressure, 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 as Enoch told us. But by delaying, you're getting far lower liability, but still with a chance of a big return. So that's excellent. If they had kept this up to the hundreds, I would be more confident of an equaliser from the Chavs. And they really should be going for it. I think they're having a good season in the Secunda League. They're third. Got a good chance of going up. 26 points. So a win today would be vital, really, for them. Portimonense, bottom of the league as well. You can't be dropping points to this lot, can you? When you've got a chance of a title run. Let's have a look at the Bundesliga. 2.6 the favourite, and it's 0-0. You know by now what 2.6 the favourite means. It's very difficult for us to unpack. So I'm not going to be laying the draw here. Although that said, very, very late winner in the last Köln match at the end. I think, what was it, against St. Pauli? So there might be a late story in this one, in the Köln St. Pauli match, a Köln Union Berlin match. Union Berlin against Heidenheim, I think. 2 90th minute goals for Heidenheim as well. So these two have some late action. Looking at this 90th minute, Ricky J. James. 90th minute, again. 90th minute, FC Köln. 90th minute, Luka Waldschmidt. 90th minute, Jakub Kaminski, Syed El Mala. 90th minute, Maximilian Bier. I didn't think there were so many 90th minutes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of the last 7 matches. 90th minute goals. So this is one for you late players. Union Berlin against Heidenheim. 90th minute, bang, done late. 90th minute, Tim Scharker. 68th minute. 90th minute, Stefan Schwimmer and Schüttner. 90th minute, Sir Harry of Kane, making it 2-2. So we've got plenty of 90th minute action in Köln and Union Berlin. So that's one for you delayers. Just sit on this. You can lay that draw at 109, 106. Keep your liability low. Hopefully the 90th minute fun will continue on. Let's take a walk through some of these. Again, that momentum needs to rise as we're coming to the end of the match. But by delaying, you've really kept your liability low. And now you're entering the period where your profits will far exceed the amount you're risking. So we can just have another one of these. We can even go 109, 106 and just leave that to fester. So it looks a little more reasonable for that lay of the draw. And then a 106 in case we hit the big one. And kept the liability to under a fiver, so delighted with that really. It's just going to be a little bit over. But you should not be losing to bottom of the league when you've got a chance of going into the Portuguese Primeira Liga. So we will see if they can get anything out of this. Nothing doing Juve Stabia. I'm going to give that a miss. This is what you do with red cards. Don't just jump in. Make sure there's been a reaction. Hamburg and Eintracht Frankfurt would be looking possibly at this Hamburg pattern of scoring second half winners to continue today. But Eintracht Frankfurt are not a shabby side, if my memory serves me. They've only been beaten by some really big names. Let's have a look. It's going to be an ask for the Hamburger to get something today. Let's have a look. This is where the challenge table will tell you the story. Look at this form for Frankfurt. Only been beaten by the big boys, Bayern Munich, Leipzig, Leverkusen, the form sides basically. And this was just one of those humdingers. They do have a tendency to produce the odd humdinger. But looking outside at the top 8 and Hamburg are 14th, they will be feeling confident, won't they? Not too many matches played against 12th and lower, but they're unbeaten against 9th and lower. That's probably why it's a little bit tougher for Hamburger today, and a bit strange to see them slightly favourite as well. This is a Frankfurt side only losing to top 9 teams this season. So we're still... Thank you, Simon. Thanks for coming along anyway. Appreciate your visit. Hope to see you again and have a great Christmas. So we're waiting a tougher encounter for Hamburg today. Köln and Union Berlin, 90th plus minute. Possible angles there for sure. Werder Bremen, too tough to call. Don't be a hero. You don't have to play every single match. Stuttgart and the Hoff cancelling each other out. Two very, very informed sides cancelling each other out quite clearly. Lille, that goal looks to have been disallowed against Lusitanos, but I'm not going to get carried away with that. Burnley's goal didn't stand. Bournemouth have failed to score in the last 2 at home. And with Wolves, yet another 0-0 at half time. I wish I'd laid over 0.5 goals in both of those matches because they had a good profile about them, a bit like Oviedo, didn't they? Derby have got the 1-1 against Pompey. I haven't cashed out yet. Am I going to rue not cashing out yet? I should do really, because that will bring me up to about 45 quid for the session, just with that £40 stakes. And getting out early, had I stayed in the Chelsea match, I would have got out at the 2-2 rather than the 2-1. So that's a pity. Elsewhere, Brighton and Sunderland. Well, it is, as you can see, all the Black Cats. All 4 of their defeats have come away from home. And Bosun tells us that the Sunderland have lost 5 key players to the African Cup of Nations. Thank you very much, Bosun. And that's an article I wrote at Football Trading Profits blog about the impact of the African Cup of Nations. Sunderland, as Bosun quite rightly says, could be affected second half. Watch out for that. Brighton, the only time they've failed to score 2 goals has come against West Ham and Fulham at home. So great point from Bosun, great reminder. Sunderland a little shorn of their quality players, but they are playing well. But will they last? They'll probably be having to dig in to the squad. Doncaster and Plymouth, not going to be playing that one, even though the odds-on favourite has conceded 2 goals on or around half-time. But 1 shot on target is awful. 0.10 expected goals is awful. So there's no need to get stuck in just yet with that one. Wolves and Brentford, if this is going to follow the Wolves pattern, they're going to be losing. But they have scored in the last 2 matches, Wolves now, under Rob Edwards. There is hope, but certainly not trustworthy. Brentford away from home are just awful. Not worth following at all. As I say, laying over 0.5 goals at the start of this match would have given you a free bet on the draw like we did with Oviedo. So a pity I missed out on that particular opportunity there. Let's have a look at our odds-ons, because I'm not going to be focusing on all of the matches in these top flights, in these lower tiers. So we know all about Bournemouth and failing to score last 2. Burnley on a run of 7 consecutive defeats. No wonder they're trying to keep a clean sheet. Sunderland look to be the dominant force against Brighton. Odds-on favourite Brighton normally have 2 goals at home, but as Bosun has rightly said, Sunderland might be a little weary come the second half of the second half with those major first teamers missing. Man City likely to get that 3rd goal second half, as they tend to do at home. Derby have already got the equaliser against Portsmouth. If you played match odds there, you'd have been rewarded with a goal before half-time. And odds-on favourite Ipswich, no surprise to see them leading against Sheffield Wednesday. Doncaster and Plymouth, not seeing anything from the 1.76 home favourite to suggest anything at all. Barnet and Salford, well, we've got an underdog leading 2 goals against a 1.86 home favourite. We have a look at the stats here. English League 2, Barnet and Salford. Here it is. Barnet and Salford. So we'll keep an eye on that for the second half. We don't have to get stuck into these leagues. They are awful. Colchester doing what an odds-on favourite is expected to do. Indeed, MK Dons doing the same. We don't need to know these results. And Swindon and Crawley in English League 2 is a 0-0. We'll bring that one up as well. Got an odds-on favourite in that particular match. Swindon and Crawley must be up here already. Not sure. I can't see it. Swindon and Crawley, English League 2. So I've got English League 2 here, but I can't find Swindon and Crawley. There it is. Okay. So more was expected. More was expected. 1.62 home favourite. Swindon and Crawley. Well, 1 shot on target, 8 off and 5 corners away from home for Crawley Town. 0.1 expected goals for Swindon. Crawley have been keeping a lid on this lot, haven't they? It's not one to focus on too much. Any other odds on favourite matches? Well, Stuttgart and Hoff we know all about. They are cancelling each other out. This is either going to be a goal fest or they're going to cancel each other out. Partick Thistle and Wraith Rovers, 1.85 home favourites. We've already got that one on the shortlist. And if you wanted to be playing a possible late winner for Lille, by all means, have a go. And, well, Dave got this right. Estac Trois did get an equaliser against Marc et Baruel. Lorient delivering. Metz been pretty good. Well, not pretty good. They've put together a quick run of a few wins in the French Ligue, but they're getting tonked. So this is a welcome respite for them. But Lille are the major outstanding side here. But don't forget the draw is in play in the cup. So they'll take a 0-0. They'll take a 0-0 and they'll look to get the win. So second half will be beginning. We've got a couple of 0-0s in the Premier League. But sides who are in awful form. Very, very untrustworthy indeed. Köln and Union Berlin will move back down our watch list. It's going to be a 90th minute play, that one. The Wolfsburg match just screened up, says Michael. Match stats were amazing, indeed. I was just put off by the pre-match odds for these two and their profile, 2.35 the favourite. But Desmond's will come in more often than not. Do we have a good story as well? Particularly one side has taken a 2-0 lead. It's gone from 0-1 to 1-1. Then it's gone from 2-1 to 2-2. And we've had 3 second half goals. So it's a good story, Michael. I'm glad you profited on that one. And now it's a Desmond 3-3. So I'll be interested a little bit later on. Even more pressure now for these two to get the win. Now they'll be telling each other, we've scored 3 goals. Come on, we could pull this one off. Hamburg, are they going to get a 90th minute winner like they did against Stuttgart? Might be worth looking at. But we're just showing you the Frankfurt form. It is pretty rock solid, isn't it? Particularly against the bottom half. Compare that with Hamburg. That was a 90th plus minute winner. 90th plus minute. That's what they'll need today, you suspect. There's that Estac Trois goal if you followed Dave against the Olympique Marcois. Estac Trois, I would have expected them to be focusing on going up into the top flight. And we've got some odds on favourite goals coming in. Mostly in France. So let's get rid of these because we don't need to be alerted to these too much. I certainly won't be playing them in France. But there's that goal for Estac Trois. Lille, possible very, very late winner. If they're up for the cup, that's the big question mark. Are they up for the cup or not? We will see. Second halves are beginning in the Premier League. 2 very tough matches to call. Bournemouth and Burnley. 2 very poor sides at the moment. Wheels have fallen off the cherries, failing to score at home as well in the last 2. Burnley just had a goal disallowed. No shots on target for either of these two. Very, very difficult match for me to get a handle on, as you can see. So we're just waiting for some action to occur. That 3-3 might be of interest at some point. Wolfsburg and Freiburg. Hamburg, I'll be looking Köln and Hamburg for some 90th minute plays here. Certainly with Köln. 90th minute goals in 5 of the last 6 matches. Quite something. Lille, well, you can see they're dominating the momentum if you've got a momentum graph here. Last shot on target, though, I suspect quite a while ago, 10 minutes ago. Got your archetypal can't be bothered French Ligue Cup team, aren't they? Lusitano Saint-Maur, a couple of 1-1s in French National 2. That's not French Ligue 2. It's National. It's all the way down. Probably the Nations League, something like that in the UK. Outside of the league proper. Playing Roussat Saint-Victoire. And Goal FC they played as well. Now, probably Lille, if they're up for it, should be nicking it late on. But let's not get too fixated with cup matches. Bournemouth against Burnley is probably best watched just to get a gauge on this one. Burnley did have that goal disallowed. But as you can see, no shots on target and very flat momentum, really, for both of these two sides. Bournemouth slightly better with the momentum. Burnley getting going at the end of the first half. So if they can keep it 0-0 for long enough. Similar with Wolves. Don't forget, they have scored in their last 2 matches, Wolves, including one against the Arsenal. Very, very unlucky to have got a loss against the Ars there. If you're looking at the stats, you're looking at Sunderland, aren't you, against Brighton? Brighton, a very tough side to stop scoring at home. Only the London sides have done it. 2 London sides have done it. But obviously the Black Cats are up for this. But as Bosun said, we've got that spectre of the African Cup of Nations players leaving. That's the St Mirren goal. 1.33 expected goals. We've got 1.26 expected goals for Crawley as well. 10 shots off, 6 corners. Pre-match, 1.67 home favourite was Swindon. So this is your typical English League 2. Very, very hard to read match, isn't it? Which one of these two? You'd have gone with the market. You'd have gone with the home side. But in-play stats, the side creating the better chances are Crawley. But I'm not going to be pushed into these lower tiers on a Saturday when I've already made a profit. Augsburg Werder Bremen 1-0. Not going to be playing that match either, but this could be the 3rd consecutive win for Augsburg at home. 2-0, having beaten Bayer Leverkusen unexpectedly as well. So well done them. Beaten Hamburg 1-0 as well. A 1-0 loss to Frankfurt. Obviously, take the Hoff out of the equation because they were expected to win. It looks like they've got a new defensive coach or something, Augsburg, doesn't it? Because they're starting to pick up. And there's that goal for Lille. 80th minute. It was coming. But the best value is very, very late in the hope that this lot will avoid the draw. A side like Lille would prefer to be focusing on French Ligue 1. And there's a late Hamburg goal. It's come too early for me. A bit like it did against Werder Bremen last week. And the home fans will be going mental again. Wow. This could be the 3rd consecutive both teams to score win. If you did lay the draw second half, I'd give it a bit of a call. But not hugely confident. Has that goal stood? Let's have a look. Hopefully the goal has stood. And, well, against the run of play, Swindon have got the goal against Crawley. Indeed, the Hamburg goal has stood. And there's that Desmond 3-3 ending Wolfsburg and Freiburg. Again, I'm waiting late myself personally. I don't like these odds. But great stuff for Hamburg fans. Wow. I was waiting for a bit like that Stuttgart because their form against top sides is not that good apart from that Stuttgart win, which was the last gasp winner. But putting together a possible 3rd consecutive both teams to score home win. Beaten Stuttgart, beaten Werder Bremen, and now solid yardsticks, Eintracht Frankfurt. Lost away to Barcelona, lost to Leipzig. It's not a shocker. And again, a loss to Atalanta in the Champions League. So their major defeats really have come against solid sides. Köln red card, says Stuart. Köln red card. Now, Union Berlin will be licking their lips because we know very well, don't we? We know very well that 90th minute problem that FC Köln have. So thank you very much for passing that on, Stuart. That could see some possibilities here. Or has it produced a penalty? Normally a red card will produce a change in the market, but looks like it's got a penalty to go with it. Or has it? We've got to wait for the market to just reform, as you can see here. Note the draw remains at 1.4. Just wait for the market to tighten up. Now we've got a great chance here for a late play, haven't we? Given the amount of times we've seen 90th minute Cologne goals. And this is one, I think, for telegrammers, although I have told them I'm less likely to be sending telegrams during a live stream. But that draw is looking rather tasty, isn't it, for the layer? Union Berlin will be licking their lips. Köln will be thinking 5 of the last 6 matches have seen a goal in the 90th minute. So thank you very much, Stuart. This could give us something to latch onto. So I'll just wait for the market to calm down a little bit here. And it should have popped up. There it is. Yeah, the red card. So definite interest there. Hamburg, did that goal stay? No, it didn't. So we've got another potential 90th minute go with the Burger Boys later on. Oh, they will be the fans will be absolutely gutted with this one. 56,000, that's nearly the population of Guernsey where I am at the moment. That's the mental home support you're getting at Hamburg, even in the Bundesliga 2. That's why they had to get out of the Bundesliga 2. And that's why, highly likely, we'll be looking at a really good chance for a late winner. Wow. 80th minute goal disallowed, so possibilities for some late plays in both of those matches. Interesting indeed. So I'm going to got this one up already. I'm going to star that, and then we're going to get Hamburger up, and we're going to star that as well. Don't forget the 90th minute winner that Hamburger had against a very, very strong Stuttgart. Don't forget, Frankfurt, as we know, only get beaten in the Champions League and against the big boys. So that draw could be vulnerable on both counts. But it's going to be a 90th minute play on both of these matches for me. So we've got a little bit of time to wait. But it's brewing up nicely, that red card. And we've got a few odds-on favourite goals coming in as well. Or have we? Let's have a look. No, we haven't. Okay. So it's brewing up nicely in the Bundesliga. Sunderland, momentum-wise, 106 normally precludes a goal. So watch out if you want to be laying the draw in that match. I would have been with Brighton today on their 2+ goal home habit. But this is an excellent away performance considering, as Bosun said, there are struggles with some players going to African Cup of Nations. It's going to be, looks like another one of those 0-0s at half time, and we're going to balls it up second half for Wolves, isn't it? Oh boy. Missed opportunity to lay over 0.5 goals at the start of this one, and indeed the start of this match as well. No shots on target for either of these two. But if you're following the momentum, you'll be looking at the possibility of the Black Cats breaking through first at Brighton. Heerenveen getting a goal against Heracles. Heerenveen fancied today by myself at least. So we're waiting 90th minute. We're getting to the 87th minute Köln, 86th minute Hamburger. And all the while we're waiting, the odds are getting lower and lower. You could even start drip laying now if you wanted to. So I'll show you that. 1, 5 quid. 1.9, 1.19. You can double it to a tenner if you wanted. It's up to you. 1.14 to win a fiver. 1.09 to win 11. 1.06 to win 17. Now that can all be left. They're like mines in a minefield. If you can just get them all trodden on and activated, and then boom, the goal comes. Off we go. So that's FC Köln and Union Berlin. I'll pass these on to members. Very tough day today in the Premier League, but a couple of Bundesliga matches. If you're with me at the live stream, you'll know. FC Köln, Union have been red carded. 5 of the last 6 matches have seen a 90th minute goal in an FC Köln match. So that draw is becoming layable at odds of 1.2 and lower. Hamburger also have had a goal disallowed in the 80th minute. They scored a 90th minute winner to make it 2-1, with both teams scoring, as has happened today against Stuttgart. The draw is 1.35. Again, I'll be starting to lay that draw at about 1.2 or lower, or at the 90th plus minute. So possible late plays in the Bundesliga. But the Premier League is very tough. You're looking at Bournemouth, Burnley, no shots on target for either of these two, but Bournemouth dominating the possession and the momentum. Very, very tough to trust these two. They're in such poor form, aren't they? So let's get the late goal dance coming in both of these matches. We will see whether that pattern continues for FC Köln and indeed for Hamburg. Can they scrape a late winner to go bring those fans into delirium? 56,000 of them for another. Both teams to score, home win. It would be fantastic if they can pull that one off. So let's wait. We've got a suspended market here. So we'll see if it's any of our matches of interest. Have a look at the odds on favourites as well. No shots on target yet for this particular match. Bournemouth and Burnley. Sunderland dominant with the momentum wise. And that was we've got a goal come in. Union Berlin have got a goal. Now, did we get triggered? Let's have a look. How many got triggered? Oh, man. Disappointing. Disappointing. Not too much got triggered for me. I hope you got a bit more on. This is the way I would play it. I'm looking for, keep that liability low, but looking for a big winner. 90th plus minute, you keep getting that goal, don't you? And it's happened again. So again, I've got to thank, who was it, Stuart, for telling us about that red card nice and quickly. Appreciate that. Do your checks. Now that's 6 of the last 7 Köln matches have seen a 90th plus minute goal. And we've got a goal in the Stuttgart Hoff match. 90th minute late winner there. And we've got a goal for Brentford. Again, that Wolverhampton Wanderers pattern of 0-0 at half-time, ending again. (2-0) for Ipswich Town. Yeah, check your derby. Yeah, indeed. You'll remember my derby. We should have laid the draw, really, Wolves and Brentford, but I wanted to lay over 0.5 goals at the start of that match, which was a real pity. Union Berlin with a goal. I hope you cleaned up there, Enoch. Very, very low liability. 1.24 and 1.19 matched. Stuttgart grabbing the late winner against the mighty Hoff. Now, do Hamburger, do they have a late winner in them, like Stuttgart have? Still, the draw's a little bit too high for me, but you could start just small backing of the opponents. Just have a dip in if you fancied it. Keep dipping in. We're in the 90th plus minute. Can they pull it off? Can they pull it off like Union Berlin did? Only 2 drips matched, same as me, Michael. What a pity, eh? Again, if you upped your stakes to a tenner, that would have been an even better return, wouldn't it? But keep an eye on that Derby 1-1. It's just gone up to 17. I might take that green, to be honest, because it's been a good day. I know I'm giving away 12 quid, but I'm also... I could also... Oh, Stuttgart VAR, says Martin. So they will be concerned with that one. Hamburger. Do they have a late last gasp winner? Remember against Stuttgart, it was very, very late, wasn't it? So I'm quite happy to do that. We could do this drip again if you fancied it. So it would be 1.25 for a fiver or whatever you want. 1.19 for a fiver. 1.14 for a fiver. 1.09, you can up that to 11. 1.06, you can up that to 17. Now, do they have a late winner for their 56,000 fans? Dave has played the draw, Brighton and Sunderland. Must be a goal in this match, he says. Well, on form, or on today's form, it would go to the Black Cats, you would suggest. Brilliant stuff in that Köln Union Berlin match. Love it. Hamburg, do they have that late winner again in them after having been denied in the 80th minute? Can they do it again like they did against Stuttgart? That would be fantastic. Is there going to be another 4-4 here? Wolf and the Freiburg. If you played the Desmond, well done. And if you played the 3-3, well done. Augsburg and Werder Bremen. Is it going to be another win to 0 for Augsburg? Can they nick a late one? Well, it's not going to cost you anything to find out, is it? Looks like Stuttgart has ended and they've got a VAR goal. They will be berating the referee, shall we say. No shots on target, Burnley and Bournemouth. Bournemouth failing to score in their last 2 home matches. Burnley can't buy a win for love nor money. Derby and Pompey. Well, we're already out of this one, but I didn't need to panic really, to be honest. It looks like it's one-way traffic, but as ever, dare I mention Slough? Dare I mention Viborg? You can't. And Celta Vigo, how about that late Albacete equaliser when Celta Vigo were dominant? You cannot assume anything, even though it all looks rosy. It's all a bit spiky, the momentum. Looks like it's a very equal second half, or very much a competitive second half, isn't it? There's no one team dominating, so you cannot legislate for that. Working our way down, Brighton and Sunderland. Well, who was it fancied the goal? Was it Dave? I think Dave might have fancied a goal in the Brighton-Sunderland match, but it looks like Brighton have turned the momentum round, doesn't it? The graph is starting to move upwards. Now, is this what Bosun was saying about the possibility of Sunderland getting a little bit weakened later on? Because they won't be playing with the first 11. 5 key players in the African Cup of Nations. So that's something you're going to have to factor in. Slight turning of momentum here in Brighton's favour. Don't forget they've got the 2-goal habit at home as well. And there's a Bournemouth goal. Wasn't expecting it. No shots on target, for goodness sake. This is redemption for Bournemouth. But couldn't be trusting that today, could you? All awful stuff from both teams. And there's a 3 goals you normally get from Manchester City at home. Bang on the button. That's why they are weekly bankers. Partick Thistle, can they take advantage of Wraith Rovers' red card? Second in the Scottish Championship. Surely they can do something here with home advantage, but it is one of those 2.4 the favourite. As we saw with the last red carded match, just make sure there's a reaction from Partick Thistle. We can get rid of Barnet and Salford. It's not quite going the way the market expected, is it? 1.91. Pre-match favourites, Barnet. If you fancied that, there is 24 minutes to go. I might have a sneaky lay. 27 minutes to go. Yes, at these odds. 27 minutes is a long time. Your pre-match favourites at home. You can make it 3-1. You can make it 3-2. And that's £2.40. Bang. Well worth the lay. Well worth the lay. 1.91 home favourite. Dominating, well not dominating, but the better dangerous attacks of the two. Expected goals has been far better for Salford. They've overextended themselves with their XGs. So good stuff from them. Maybe if we investigate the match a little bit further, you might see a couple of undeserving goals. I'm just guessing here. But with 24 minutes to go, yes, one of them was an own goal. Fair enough. That's just massaged the scoreline a bit, hasn't it? Austerfield, 0-1, and Udo making it 0-3. But Barnet start bringing in their substitute 64th minute plus. We've got involved right after that. Are they going to be doing an Atletico Madrid? Bring the subs on. The subs score all of the goals. Merry Christmas. Low liability. Well worth the punt. Enough time to go, isn't there? Really, let's be honest. Enough time to go. Decent enough dangerous attacks here. Not being overwhelmed by any stretch, are they? It's just very good finishing from Salford. One of them being an own goal. So just massaging the scoreline a little bit. So I'm quite happy with that. St Mirren opener, Oldham Athletic leading Tranmere, and St Johnstone performing admirably today. Nothing doing from Hamburg late on, I'm afraid. What a pity. But we got one of them in, and that was excellent. FC Köln, 6 of the last 7 matches. They've got to solve this problem, otherwise they're down. You can survive till the 90th minute, and then, boom, you get done. But that red card really did help make our minds up for us, didn't it? Augsburg will be bitterly disappointed that goal didn't stand for a 3rd consecutive clean sheet win to 0 at home. Well, it's either a clean sheet win or it's a win to 0. 3 clean sheet wins possible. Bournemouth, well, unlikely Burnley are going to be reacting to this. It's a must win for Bournemouth. Such poor form for the Cherries of late. Failing to score in the last 2 home matches, and nearly struggling to score against this lot as well. Awful performance. They are in trouble if they don't do anything about this. Derby and Portsmouth, we've already played that one and got the profit. I've locked it in, even though it's cost me an extra 12 quid. Lost. It looks as if they are dealing okay, but as I say, this momentum is all over the shop, isn't it? So you've got to be very careful with that. Swindon and Crawley, well, Crawley deserved the goal on their XG and their 11 shots off target, 9 corners, but this is English League 2, and that's pretty much sums that league up for you, doesn't it? Got a goal in an odds-on favourite match. Let's take a look. And Donny and Portsmouth, an awful day for Doncaster, 1.76 favourite. Oh dear. Welcome to English League One. I think we'll be heading to an end soon. A lot of our matches of interest will be ending, and I'll call it a day. 4:45. Don't know if I'll be up this evening. Just have a quick look at what's on, particularly from the odds-on perspective this evening. Everton and the Arsenal. You're playing clean sheet Everton, clean sheet Arsenal, 0.67 xg for Arsenal. Michael has asked, lay the draw Motherwell. I don't tend to play the SPL, Michael, so up to you if you wanted to play that one. I just don't like playing outside the old firm. It's not a league I fancy. I don't know much about Motherwell either. It's 0-0. But, well, Michael has pointed out that Motherwell are really going for this, aren't they? So if you want to follow Michael there, 1.03 xg, dominated the match. Pre-match, well, 1.33, pre-match favourites are really, really expected to do something here. But we've got to check the timings of the goals. They've been very sporadic. Every 10 minutes is very poor, isn't it? 56, 66, 76. Very poor. Shots off target, just a couple of them 60th plus minute, and just the one corner. So I wouldn't be laying the draw just yet, Michael, in that one myself. But if you fancy it, 1.33 favourite, they're still relatively short price, aren't they? 75 minutes in. But you can see the shots on target have come every 10 minutes. So that flatters to deceive. If you're using in-play stats, last 5 minutes will tell you. Bit lukewarm. Last 10, one shot on, one shot off, one corner. Last 15, a little bit busier. What we need to be seeing is the last 5 a little bit busier, don't we? So, yes, could be something for you to flag up a bit later on, but you need to see a bit more improvement with the shots on target. You want to see a concertinaed effect. But the dominance is there. Pre-match 1.33, that's there as well. If you fancied laying the draw, by all means, go for it. You're getting odds on, and you're getting a 1.33 shot at home with a good shout. It looks like Dundee have parked some type of bus in front of that goal, that's for sure. We'll just keep an eye on our odds on. Brighton and Sunderland, no 2 goals today for Brighton, it seems. Sunderland are still pressurising. 6 shots on 8 off 4 corners, but yet again, do check the timings of your shots. The last one, 73rd minute after one. Oh, sorry, the wrong match. Yeah, every 20 minutes for the last 2 shots. Not very hot, is it? Shots off target, 45, 51, 53, 64, 67. And corners, just the 1 corner second half. So do put that into context. A bit like this lot. Suddenly it doesn't look that hot, does it? It's there if you want it, if they can put that momentum. It needs to start climbing though for Motherwell, if I'm going to get interested. But it needs to climb upwards, very sudden climb upwards like this, and then we can be up and at them. Wolves have scored in the last 2 matches, by the way. I don't know if you fancied them getting an equaliser, as they did against Arsenal. You're going to get low odds against the Brentford side who keep losing away from home. So if you see that Wolves pattern continuing of scoring, the draw is being backed. Someone likes it, £2 at 6s. And there's a lot to lay. Brentford at 1.22, 1.23 as well. Have a look at the weight of money. I don't think I've got, there's a weight of money indicator. So there's more money to back the draw, as you can see there. Quite a lot more money to back the draw. Now the speculator, with 12 minutes to go, well, that might tempt me with goals scored in each of the last two matches for Wolves. That's going to crash if it becomes 1-1. That's for sure. With Brentford's away record, it's awful. So I might just do another quid, another 50p here. That's not going to be 50s if we get a 1-1 in about the 85th minute. So something to think about there if Wolves can keep that pressure up. Let's have a look through our odds-on favourites today and a bit later on. Union St-Gilloise, well, later on this evening. Dinamo Zagreb derby, so be very careful. Up the arse, 1.57. Likely to be very, very tough to score 2 goals against today. Odds-on favourites. Holstein Kiel, 1.85. Lazio. It's all about whether they can keep Jamie Vardy quiet for Cremonese. If he's on form, he can turn Cremonese around. So Lazio, though, very hard team to score 2 goals against at home. Only Torino have managed to do that. So that's a good one to follow at 5 o'clock. That's got bankerish material written all over it, that one. Real Madrid, of course, against Sevilla. This is a Sevilla who are blowing hot and cold. So we can give them a wide berth, Sevilla. Ton, league leaders. Well worth following. You followed them midweek. They do look, or did look, like strong side to follow. So some bankers a bit later on. I'll hopefully be around for a few of them because I want to be spending my evening updating these apps so I can get them out into the internet and get my new Football Trading Profits AI app, not website anymore. It'll be an app. So you'll have AI driven information updates. Really excited with it if I can make sure that all of the bits and bobs, and it's got a trading simulator as well. I haven't tried that out yet. I don't think that it can pull it off, to be honest, because what I want from a trading simulator is a game like this where you have to decide. You can see the momentum. You have to decide for yourself everything. So you'll have form. I want it to be a mirror of an actual scenario. The underdog's got 2 goals or there's a red card. For example, the Motherwell match. The lesson from the Motherwell match is to check your goal times because it can all look very rosy indeed. But then, and there's a goal. Bang. With the momentum suddenly rising. That's what we were looking for, wasn't it? That sudden rise up. We weren't seeing it. But, fair dues. Was it Michael or Dave? I think Dave with the Motherwell match. 1.33 shot. I'm a bit squeamish about the SPL, but well spotted by you. And if you took action, you've got yourself another play. So you've picked out a couple of goodies today. So well done. Not in leagues or competitions I like the French League, French Cup and the SPL, but it all, I suppose, tick the boxes apart from the shots on target, because again, it's every 10 minutes, isn't it? Look, pretty much 56, 66, 75, a bit closer this time. 7 minutes rather than 10, but the momentum was rising. That probably, as you can see, the sudden rise up there, probably a sign for you to get some interest in that. So well done for calling that. I hope you played and weren't put off by me, but I would have liked to have played a lot later at a lot lower odds. But there is the goal confirmed for you, and that is the end of that for Wolves. Awful. This 0-0 at half-time stuff is not working, is it? It's great for the trader. You lay over 0.5 goal start of the match. 6 of his last 7 matches now. Just awful. You can't survive like that at all. Yeah, Michael, late lay the draw Motherwell, so well done. If you're following Michael, well, he got US Dactoire, I think, early on as well, I think. So well done on that account. Values in the eye of the beholder. 1.33 pre-match favourite. You're always going to get some angle. This is what we were waiting for, wasn't it, really? Just waiting for that rise. Had it been now at 0-0, I'd have been definitely interested. You start seeing them lighting up the momentum. When this gets above 80, 90, normally a goal will follow. Got the concertina time pressure. You've got a 1.33 favourite at home. Boom. So another good spot. So well done. Looks like it's going to be a bit quiet coming to 4:45 for me. I've made all my money today. I can't see anything really. Poor old Alf Barnett, not really delivered that 1-3 that I wanted, or a 2-3. Brighton and Sunderland, it's up to you if you wanted a late play there. This really is a good defensive performance from Sunderland today. It really is. Because this Brighton have 2 goals in them at home. Again, the momentum's rising, as you saw with Motherwell, but it's not as strong as Motherwell's. It's 61. Doncaster is up to 76, but that's gone by the by now, Doncaster and Plymouth, hasn't it? So we're just wrapping things up now. I can't see any strong plays for me. Brighton and Sunderland, well, 90th minute lay, the draw might be on the cards. Black Cats certainly deserve something today. Haven't Brighton scored in every single match? We can have a quick look. We can have a look at goal times as well for these two, just to see whether there is an angle in for these two today. Brighton and Sunderland. So let's have a quick look. Look at the goal times right at the bottom here. Any patterns? Well, look at that. 9 goals scored at home in the last half an hour of matches. Sunderland away from home, 3. But significantly, because there's 5 goals conceded second half, 3 of them in the last 15 minutes. So they might be vulnerable late on. 0-0s at half-time at home, 2 of them, none at full-time. 4 0-0s at half-time away, only 1 at full-time. So possibilities there, but there'll have to be a late play for me. Brighton and Sunderland. Donny, well, too little too late, I think. Partick, no real shots on target since the red card. 63rd minute, no shots on target post 63rd minute. So I'm not going to be laying that draw, as they don't seem to have reacted to it at all. Get rid of Bournemouth. Derby, hanging on for dear life. Great that we got that goal before half-time. That just steadied the nerves, because the second half they haven't turned up, have they? Port Vale and Peterborough late on. Swindon, Crawley. Well, Crawley will be hard done by, but the market getting that one quite right. And well done, Dave, with Motherwell, if you followed him in with that lay the draw. We can get rid of that as well. Not going to be playing Brighton and Sunderland just yet. It's been a difficult afternoon for Brighton with that Sunderland defensive pack. They were part of that XG report, Sunderland, as well. So they have been a very, very good newly promoted side. None of these I'm greatly interested in. So it could be a good time to say good night to you, having nailed all I want to nail in this session, coming out with a green, the icing on the cake being that Cologne conceding 90th plus minute yet again. So I'll say goodnight. Thank you very much for coming along. I don't know if there'll be a live stream tomorrow. There might be, just to say goodbye to you before Christmas. We're gonna have a break Monday and Tuesday. There's no football on really, and they've got Christmas Day, Boxing Day. I'll see whether there's a family do or not, because as you can appreciate, my parents are getting older, and time will be running out before, there's only so many Christmases you can have and Boxing Days you can have with your folks as well. So I might have to go with family on Boxing Day, but I'll confirm that with you. Thanks very much for coming along, and thanks for your contributions. Some from Michael, and some from Dave and Bosun and everybody else. As the goals start flowing in for Ipswich, and poor old Doncaster fans look away now. Have a great day, and if you fancy a late play, Brighton and Sunderland, you know where Sunderland concede 3 of their 5 away goals right at the very end of matches, and where this lot score and concede 9 goals at home in the last 15. So thank you very much, everybody. I do appreciate you coming along, and I'll confirm whether there's going to be something tomorrow. We will see. Have a great day, and thanks very much.